One more aspect about my favorite topic, the mid-market companies. The majority of the mid-market companies today are at least 10 to 15 years IT-wise behind where large enterprises are. One of the reasons is that for them, this kind of muddling through approach mostly worked. Yes, they had a small provider who did this and somebody else who did that. But what did that lead to? Mostly, when I meet with these kind of companies and I ask the simple question like, how many customers do you have? The first guy looks up an Excel spreadsheet, gives me a number. The second person logs on to a CRM system and says, I believe that we have so many. The third person guesses that they have that and that number. And these numbers typically don't even correlate. So if we want a different level of process quality in mid-market companies and a secure environment, then something has to change. And just take legislation. If you just look at, and we're recording this video here in 2017, and 2017 saw, and I just picked two very relevant events, saw the new goods and services tax in India, and saw the SII concept in Spain. So in Spain, you have to deliver all of your taxation relevant content within 3 days after you posted the transaction. Yes, for SAP, this is possible. We knew it early enough. We were able to provide all of the solutions that our customers need. But imagine you're working with a tiny software company. Will they have the developers available to do that development? And that wasn't just the story in 2017. 2018, we all have to cope with IFRS 15. 2019, we have to cope with the new China cybersecurity law, and so on, and so on, and so on. So you need a really strong partner to help you with that infrastructure. Therefore, I believe that SAP is super relevant for the mid-market, and the mid-market is super relevant for SAP. What is unique about the mid-market? What do these companies want? They want, first of all, business transparency. When I meet with the CEOs of mid-market companies, it is not that they shop for an ERP system because it's so much fun. I always believe it's fun, but I'm probably the only one in the room who believe it's such a great experience. Most companies who work with me have an issue. They say either, hey, we've outgrown our existing landscape, or they say, we just had a meeting with our banks, and the bank said, you don't provide me the level of transparency that I need to sign off the next credit line, and so on and so on. So what these companies predominantly want is transparency of their business processes. Another fact of life, especially in the mid-market, is pretty often business processes change in the mid-market faster than somewhere else. There are large companies like Daimler who simply inform their suppliers, as of then and then, we will only accept invoices in an electronic format. And either you can do it, great, or you're out. So mid-market companies need to be a lot more adaptive. Yes, they can invent a lot of the rules, but pretty often also others invent the rules and they simply have to follow. So whatever they buy needs to be flexible, and they need to be able to adjust the solution on their own. They can't always bring in consultants just because a certain workflow needs to be changed, just because certain authorizations need to be readjusted, or they need additional reports. All of that must be possible without external consultants. They need to simplify the solution usage. They don't have the people with a double PhD in physics who you can give the crappiest user interface and they will still find out how to work it. You need to have a consumer-grade user interface to win in these companies. And last but not least, you must minimize the operating cost. On the previous slide, I called out that the amount of money that a mid-market company spends on IT as a percentage of their revenue is significantly higher than what the average large enterprise company spends. Yes, again, there's an economies of scale factor baked in, but spending 0.5% more on IT means competitive disadvantage. So the first movers who fully adopt cloud computing have an advantage, and I've heard that numerous times from my customers, that they say, in the past, whenever we did $1 more in revenue, also our IT cost increased, obviously not by the dollar, but as a fraction of the dollar. They said, after we implemented Business by Design, we were able to decouple these two lines. With the existing team of people that we have and the users that we have, we could do more business. So your revenue curve grows, but your cost curve, at least for IT, stays the same. And that gives you competitive freedom that you need to be innovative and react in the market. That much about a short introduction into why it is so key for SAP to be a cloud service provider.